Kuna watu watauliza kama Irungu ni part of Farmers Party na the party leader iko jela juu ya corruption. What does that say about wewe mwenyewe? So Gachagua alisema like right now Ruto is a trillionaire. And kuna watu walikuwa like you make financial sense. Like if you take $1 trillion from the Kenyan economy, lazima itatingika kidogo. So is there any world where Ruto is a trillionaire? Kuna scandal ushaikuwa mentioned ilikuwa ARROR and KIMWARER.
Yeah.
So ARROR and KIMWARER kulihapenaje? Iko Nini. Episode 458 tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Alafu leo tuko na Irungu NYAKERA. Na Irungu NYAKERA tunamjua kama the youngest PS ulashaikuwa appointed hapa Kenya. You still hold the record, si ndio?
Bado ni yangu.
Bado iko na hiyo record. But apart from that, damn, jo msema chuo holds a masters in finance and decision engineering.
Finance and decision.
Yes. Alafu City Group niko nafikiri na kuaga US peke yake, na cheki hapo ulikuwa City Group London. Alafu pia sikujisifu lakini yeye ni old boy kama mimi jo. Old boy tunakuaga watu wa nguvu. Naambia gaia na asikia yake.
Ati wewe ni namba.
Tutakuaga nayo story ya file number. So ulikuwa start when? Stare?
Nilitoka 2000.
2000.
Lakini niliingia 89.
Uliingia 89 primo.
So nilifanya primary, secondary, institute. So I was there for 13 years.
Institute. Okay.
Yeah.
Kwani uko unapenda starehe aje?
Sana. Hapo ilikuwa sari. So
alafu ilikuwa juu ya background yako like why? How did you end up at starehe?
So venye niliingia starehe standard 1, mimi nilizaliwa hapa Kinyago. Ya Kamkunji.
Okay.
And nika grow up hapo hivyo, nikaenda Kinyago nursery, and then now that's where starehe primary ilikuwa inachukua wale watoto wa kutoka slums.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why wanakuja kwa wanatafuta, kuna watu wenye wanazunguka looking for kids who are smart but from the slums.
Yes.
Na hapo ndio walini identify. Huko hivyo 1988 nikaenda nikapelekwa interviews za shule, wakakuja kwetu wakapata kweli hakuna chochote. Kwa nyumba iko empty. So hapo hivyo ndio wakanichukua. Sasa nikapata sponsor wa kutoka kule hivyo Canada na mwingine wa Austria.
Okay.
So ndio akaanza kunisomesha from standard 1. So nikachapa hivyo mpaka standard 8. Then standard 8 nikakuwa one of the 4 wenye walitoka Starehe primary tukaenda Starehe secondary.
Okay.
Wenye walipita. So then we were there again until form 4. That was 2000.
Yes.
We did our KCSE, then I was pia tukapita.
Yes.
Yeah. So tukaitwa hapa medicine pa Chiromo.
Okay.
So when we were just starting Griffin, because I was one of the school captains, akaniambia amenipatia gapia kwenda kule Maju.
Okay.
Kule Deerfield Academy in the US.
Yes.
Part of Round Square Schools. So nikapatiwa hiyo 1 year, nika end up kudefer kufanya medicine. So venye niko kule hivyo pia after kufanya kidogo, kusoma kidogo, watu wakaniambia pana lazima uapply mashule za US.
Yes.
So again nika apply and I was very lucky. I got 7 full scholarships.
Okay.
To now Stanford, Harvard, Brown, Yale. So these top universities, Williams, Whitman, hizo zote zenye. So but then from there I picked Stanford.
Okay.
So went there, did my undergraduate, did
Stanford ilikuwa state gani?
California.
Yeah. So weather ilikuwa safi.
Weather safi actually kaya Kenya tu. Palo Alto. Yeah. So huko actually the first time one of the other schools was Harvard.
Yes.
So I was trying to decide between Stanford and Harvard. And then ile weather actually nilipigia Griffin nikamwambia please I'm trying to decide should I go to Stanford or Harvard. And then akaniambia I always wanted my students to go to one of my students to go to Harvard. However, you have a golden problem and I know you'll find a solution.
Yeah.
He did not even advise me go to this or that.
Yeah.
He just told me you have a golden problem. I know you'll find a solution. Yeah. So I decided, because the weather at Stanford was very nice, both were Ivy League, so I decided to go to Stanford because of tech, and also I knew that and then kule hivo Palo Alto ndio kumeanza kuongelewa sana.
Yes.
So when there did industrial engineering, the focus on finance and decision engineering, but then also did mathematics.
Okay.
From there, ndio hiyo City Group ulikuwa nasema tukaanza Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street was a very interesting one because I got investment banking is very white male dominated. So I remember for one of the for the interviews, they had 5 positions available, and they got 14,000 applications. And I was one of the 5 that got the positions. And it was that one I went for the interview. It was snowing. Hata sijavaa nguo za snow kwa sababu sijazoea.
Kusa ni New York. Yeah.
Then nikaambiwa hata watu wa HR wenye walikuwa ni interview wameambiwa na managing director hawata ni interview, yeye ndiye atani interview.
Yeah.
So they found it very weird that managing director ndiye anataka kuni interview. So mimi nikapeleka tu straight kwa managing director kule City Group. Kuingia huko hivyo akaniona, akaanza tu kunichapisha stories, how's Kenya, how's Stanford, how's whatever. And then tukaongea, and then akaniambia his daughter went to Deerfield with me.
Okay.
Na akaniambia, my daughter has said so many good things about you, and I thought with that there's no point of interviewing you, so we just want to offer you the job.
You are dear one. It was a dear one.
Yeah.
So hiyo ndio nilipata hiyo job out of the 14,000.
Yes.
That's how hiyo job moja ilitolewa kwa list.
Na Wall Street tunasikia gatu hizi salaries. Does Wall Street pay per hour ama Wall Street pays like just a lump sum? Because kuna kuagana watu wa per hour. Wall Street is not per hour.
No, it's not per hour. It's a low, but Wall Street for investment banking, especially then, I used to be very high.
Yes.
I remember like then my boss, now our group CEO was called Chuck Prince. Sasa kama hiyo mwaka his salary was $75 million.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like about
That's
about
billions.
12B. Yeah.
Yes.
Hiyo ni salo ya mwaka moja. Na mwaka ikiisha unaanza mwaka ingine. So it's like 1B per month. Akona chopa yake hapo juu ya helipad. Akitoka tu anaingia chopa, anaenda shughuli zake. Akona ndege yake, private jet. So hizo ndizo zilikuwa masalari za huko hivyo. Yeah. Back then, of course, before the economic crisis, nearly crash. Even ask one's salaries, like when the average salary at US used to be about $35,000
per year.
Si tulikuwa naanziwa na $150,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So like 4 times of average salary at US. So used to be Wall Street actually, huko ndio pesa zilikuwa zinaundwa kabisa. Yeah. So nikafanya hapo kidogo, then nikapelekwa same still City Group, wakanihamisha wakanipeleka London, now covering Africa.
Okay. But acha to go back to pale New York. So uliingia kwa hiyo culture Wall Street ya inasemekanaga sniff wagani like part of investment banking.
It usually part of it, because babu you work about 80 hours on average per week. 80. So that means
16 hours a day.
16 hours a day. For 5 days. So unaingianga asubuhi, unatoka usiku. You're paid a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah, but you never have any time to spend it.
Yeah.
So ile 2 hours unaachiliwa hivi. Hata saa zingine nakumbuka mimi niko tunatoka job like 3 in the morning, na unajua by 7 unahitajiwa back to job. But bado lazima upitie mahali kunywa ka drink kamoja, at least usikie hiyo siku umetumia pesa yako. Kwa sababu breakfast, lunch, kila kitu iko kwa ofisi. Hakuna hata kitu unaspend hata shilingi yako moja. Hata jobo unachukuliwa na black cab, unarudishwa na nyumbani na cab ya ofisi. So that's why now unapatanga watu wana hizo stories za kusniff na nini zinaanzanga hapo. Hawa ni watu wako na do sana na wana anything ya kufanya na hiyo do. But mimi hata sije kuingia hizo story, hata sije kuona
Haukwenda ku hang out with some hookers in
sijawai hata leo hata sijai kuona hata hiyo kitu. Nasikianga tu
hakwenda hata hooters.
Niko allergic kabisa, sijai kuona
hakwenda hooters kuhutia moto.
Hiyo sijasema sikuenda, hiyo sijakataa yenyewe.
Matters of the flesh.
Hizo tulipitia. Ni hizi zingine zenye hatujawai.
Kuna hiyo story ya inaitwa nini, like your finance and decision engineering.
Yes.
Like, what does that involve?
Finance and decision engineering, you know, it's okay. Before it use the degree itself is more of like chemical engineering.
Yes.
And industrial engineering is how to optimize things.
Okay.
Yeah. So to ensure that things are working optimally. So when you're talking about finance, is stories are derivatives, stories are options, trading. Hizo vitu sasa ziko part of hizo optimizations. So that's really the focus of that. So how to ensure that decisions zinafanywa zinafuata engineering models.
So by the time the finance crisis ina happen, your time ulikuwa
London.
Ulikuwa London.
Nilikuwa nafanya City Group London.
Ili affect aje London?
It affect. So venye tulikuwa tunafanya tulikuwa part of the watu wenye walichujwa. We remember City Group had over 500,000 employees globally. So nikasikia list ya kwanza wamesema about 50,000 people wanafutwa. Lakini tukajua si tuna perform, si tuwezi kufutwa. So hao wakafutwa. After that tukasikia sasa wanakuja ingine ya 75,000. Hapa tukajua hapa tunaenda. Sababu walikuwa wanafanya ile ya last in first out. Kama wewe ndio ulikuwa wa mwisho kuingia, wanakuchuja first because the benefits that you have accrued are fewer. Unajua mtu amekuwa huko miaka 10 ukimchuja, kwa hivyo unamlipa per year that amework. So then the cost to them ya kuchuja watu wenye wamekaa inakuwa very high. So it was always fast in last in first out. So certainly to affect, but even then that's when now nilikuja because of the relationships nilikuwa nimecreate. As soon as nimeambiwa nitachujwa na tunapatiwa 6 months notice, watakulipa for 6 months. Mi nikachukua tu ndege the next week, nikapigia a few people wenye nilikuwa nimekutana hapa hivi. James Mwangi Kuti, nikapigia Benson Wairegi kule Britam, nikapigia CEOs. Jamaa alikuwa anaitwa Osita Okonko kule Shelter Africa, Atul Shah kule I&M Bank, and I booked like 5 interviews. The next week. So nikakuja nikakutana nao wote kina nani Awori, CBA Bank. There were 5 interviews. So nikakutana nao tukaongea, na out of the 5 waine wakanipatia jobs. Nianze. But then as I was heading back to the airport after nimemaliza, another guy akanipigia, kaniambia he is with the NIC Bank, and he knows I'm heading out, but he wants just 5 minutes of my time kama tunakutana. He was CEO of the investment bank ya NIC. Alikuwa anatoka Yongure. So mi nikasema on my way to the airport tupatane hapo Pan Africa. So tukapatana those 5-10 minutes, hapo kaniambia hata mi nataka kupatia kazi. When can you start? So that was November.
Lakini kwa umetoka City Group London, do you get a local job, you have to literally take a pay cut?
Yes, a big pay cut. A big pay cut, but I got some jobs also in the UK, but I didn't feel them. I felt that I just want to come back home. And I felt that I can play a bigger role. It was always about being a small fish in a big pond. A small fish in the ocean, or a big fish in a small pond. So and I preferred to be a big fish in a small pond. And that's why I decided wacha nikuje huku hivi. So by Jan 2009, that's when I came back. And ukule NIC, and tukaanza nini. I started actually, I got a big pay cut. I think I started off with $250K. After
yani bila aibu alikuwekea 250K.
Waliwekea 250. But the others actually had given me more. I name about 350 nini, but I preferred this one.
Because you could make also money from bringing in business, ama?
No, I just felt like the guy who I met was the person I would have learned a lot from.
Yes.
So it was more than just the job itself. I felt huyu hapa hivi learn my stories mob from him, because he was an investment banker.
Yes.
Citigroup, then alikuwa Stanchart London, then alikuwa huku hivi sasa. So nikaona this one I'll learn a lot from him. So tukawak na yeye kidogo hivi, within a few months yeye akapass. He had a car accident hapa hivi nini Mombasa Road. And I was very young, so that time I was barely I think I had just turned 27. So they told me now, because the unit, it was one of the subsidiaries of NIC Group. So wakaniambia nishikilie as they do interviews.
Yes.
For the position for CEO. So but when nilianza kufanya the kind of growth yenye nililete, it started now being noticed everywhere. So hiyo 250 na ndio naambianga watu, within 2 months it was 350, 550, within whatever it was 850. In less than a year I was already over $1 million. I was not even 27, I was not even 28 to them. And they had already made me managing director. So it was more from the hard work.
Yes.
They saw. So ndio naambianga watu hata ukiona tumeanzishiwa kwa mshahara ndogo, hiyo ni entry.
Yes.
Once now people see what you can actually achieve, they can even there is no limit. Because I'll give you X because I'm making Y, but if I'm making 10Y, I have no reason not to give you 10X. Yeah. So as a business, as I see the value you're bringing, hata mimi ndakusort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na hii accident was what happened Mombasa Road. Like what sort of accident was it? Like
a car accident. Alikuwa amechukua kasichana kengine pale Westlands, akapatia gari yake kapeleke usiku. So kanafinya kabisa. Waka ikafika mahali hapa GM ikarol. Hashi survived. But he didn't. Yeah.
But hakuwa married ama alikuwa married?
Hakuwa married.
Kustenka hiyo gatriki. Kampango kando kana survive alafu.
Unajua kana kuanga the first one kwa evacuated kwa scene. Kupigia mabuddies. Kanaondolewa. Sasa unajua lazima usukume back to driver position.
He had issued kabisa. He died on the spot. She was in Hosi in a coma for like a year. Yeah, she was. It was a bad accident.
But now she's okay now.
No, I don't know. I've never even met her, but people tell me that they meet her. Okay. So and na nini financial discipline yako ilikuwa gaje? Because you started earning high at a very like you 150k ya nini Citigroup for example. Ukiwa New York, ulikuwa how old? I was 24, 25.
Yes. So your financial discipline, how was it at that age? Having come from Savariation.
No, you see the beauty with watu wenye wametoka huko hivyo Safaration kule chini. You also have a lot of discipline.
Yes.
And also you know that one small mistake, you go back there. So I really nilikuwa ile kusave biashara. The first thing was of course with my first bonus nilikuja hapa nyumbani hapo, nilienda kwa show. I was raised by my grandmother. My mom passed when I was in standard 2 pale standard 2.
Yes.
So my grandma kwanza nikamjengea nyumba yake. Na all my 4 uncles hapo hivyo nikawajengea kila mtu, but sasa hao nikawajengea nikajenga zile nyumba za mbao. Then when I was hapa Equity nikaenda tena nikazibomoa zote. Niona NIC. Nikazibomoa zote tena nikajenga za mawe. Nikajengea kile zote at the same time. And we had biasharas here. I had a hardware store pale hivyo Juja na malori hapa Githurai. Sasa zilikuwa hata nikiwa huko UK kutuma pesa naambiwa Axo imeibiwa. We're gonna have so I had those 2 businesses. I was buying properties.
Okay.
Even back then. Then when I came now into NIC, I became big on those. I had a very big club in Karen. Maybe you went there, called Blix Lounge.
Blix Lounge naikumbuka.
Pale hivyo Karen Plains. Hiyo ilikuwa yangu.
kusikia tu of course
sisi hatukuendaga lakini
hiyo ndio ilikuwa siku hiyo akina backers rafikis blix tunamalizia
nakumbuka Blix
blix
Karen.
kule Karen
Okay.
yeah so biashara zetu tulikuwa najaribu in one way or another
Yes.
so but a lot because when you're very busy I always found that investing in properties is always easier because it's idle.
Yes.
Haikupatii pressure. Unajua kuwa na biashara na you're employed ni stress because then you won't be able to serve your employer. Utakuwa unakimbia hapo, unasikia pesa imeibiwa, unasikia stock imeenda nini. So I always advise even watu wenye wameandikwa just have something kama ni akina money market ama akina hizo hazita kustress. Usikaanze biashara ati huku unakimbia unaenda kuuza viatu huku hivi uko na matunda za asubuhi kule marigiti. Wachia watu wenye wanafanya hiyo kazi wafanye. Wewe tafuta pesa yako, nunua kani apartments, nunua kani nyumba, nunua kama ni mashamba. Zita appreciate.
I think I always say that most of Magalit, the only people in Kenya will have side hustles that make a lot of money in politicians.
Yes.
The rest of us, if you're not giving it full attention, utalia kabisa. Kuzao tunajua wataiba tu alafu so kwani Blix ilikuwa nakuletea shida? Ilikuwa nakuletea shida tena?
Sana ulikuwa but we had managed it well but still crazy so it's another biashara. Natoka job like around 10 usiku. That's the most of the time that's when I used to leave job. Then nikitoka job napitia pale Karen nakaa hapo mpaka kitu like 1 then niko job by 6:30 latest niko kwa desk so hata CEO akifika group CEO akifika always alikuwa tunanipata ananiambia tukuje tukunywe kachai in his office. So that's also how we ended up bonding wherever I was because I was always very early. Hata kuna mtu alikuwa anajua na kunywa usiku mzima sababu uko discipline. Unajua ukishafikisha mahali fulani out sababu unajua within 4 hours or 3 hours lazima uamke na ujipate job.
Na time kuna stay Karen yenyewe?
No, niko na that time niko na Ishilavi.
So you have to drive all that
my
distance.
first house I bought in Lavington.
Okay.
So come to kadogo.
Okay. And Nini, do you feel like Nani played a role in that level of dedication, Griffin?
A lot. The discipline, ni ile discipline I usually tell people the children the foundation that you help them. High school is where they build the foundation.
Yes.
Going into the future. And once they know that the things that are important in life.
Yes.
We used to have the career talks. Career talks where they were not even career talks, they were life talks.
Yes.
Where Griffin will spend an hour every week with Form 4s. Taking them through different decisions in life. When do you get married? How do you look for a job? What do you do in a job? How do you get promoted?
Yes.
How do you live with others? How do you work for your money? How do you save?
Yes.
All those things. One day every week. So
you've got every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Yes.
From 3 to 4. So by the time you come out of there with that 1 year of counsel, those are things that you'll always remember. And you always ensure that at the end of it ukifanya kitu unafikiria is this what nilikuwa nimeambiwa. Nakumbuka even things like alituambia you should marry at 28. Niko 28 bado sijaoa nimechelewa. Sawa tu
utakwambia hapo kwa marriage sijui mlikuwa mmeambiwa never ama he stayed.
Mimi nilimarika at 35. Ole marika
35. Mine was 31.
Okay.
So not too bad hapo tu. Alikuwa ametuambia 28. Lazima 28 hapo hivyo. So that at least you've had a few relationships, you had heartbreaks, you've enjoyed life outside being in a relationship. So that you don't do it too early and you don't do it too late.
Because mi nakumbuka like one of the things that stood out was I remember nikiwaambia ilikuwa ile story ya kwa nini addiction. Kwa nasema if you have like family, if there is addiction in your family, always stay away from that thing. so that stayed with me. Hiyo ni like one of the things nakumkaga from career talks za Griffin. Alafu pia you give it 100%. That's why I was even saying that for me nikiangalia hata the IEBC nominees and I look at Ethicon, I start thinking that if this guy took anything from Griffin, then I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt that he'd end up being a fair IEBC chairman. So did you ever meet Ethicon?
Yeah, we were with him. He was my prefect. Sub Ethicon was class of 97.
Yes.
He was 97. So he was my prefect when he was in Form 2 in 95 when I was in Standard 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because they used to have the secondary guys were the ones who were prefects in primary. So, and he was a good guy. He went on to be a Turo captain. Very fair, balanced guy. And even after that, he's done a lot. He's in private sector, kwa UN, he's in public sector, kule Turkana as a county attorney. But I've never had like anything negative said about him. So I don't think he'd start now. And for the same benefit of doubt, you say I'd give him the same benefit of doubt. I've not had, and the beauty is, you see, when you have those morals and that grounding, you can agree to be manipulated 10%, 20%, but not beyond that. Beyond that, you'll say, okay, I need the right thing to be done. And I think that's what even our good friend Raphael Tuju, who was also on Starehian, when I was fired from KICC, he called me and he told me, the problem with the Starehians is that we are not user-friendly.
Because
if I feel that something is not right, I just say so. I just say I won't do it. Or I can't do it that way. And I finish my story there and I move on. Ukitaka kunitoa nitoe. Ukitaka nini nisiko.
Okay, because your debate yake imekuwa, I think ni jana, people went to court and they've stopped their vetting. So of course pia politically, another story that's making headlines ni story ya Gloria Oruoba. So she was expelled by UDA. Umekuwa surprised? Are you surprised in any way?
I don't know what to think, because you see, when I saw her with Matiang'i, when Matiang'i came, I thought either she's defiant or she has been sent, because people are not sure whose project Matiang'i is. So I assumed if she has been sent, then she'll survive. But if she's there on her own accord, then she'll be fired. But but we still don't know the truth. So there are a lot of vipindis and optics and sarakasi happening. You never really know what smoke screens, what is real, what is not. You see hata mtu akiambiwa wacha tukufute, then mshahara yako ni pesa ngapi for the next 2 years, ndio hii. So yendo kaenda sasa kasimama amefanya siasa yako. You never know. This country is a very interesting country, but she's a good, personally I know Gloria, and she's a good person. She's hard-headed, and that's why you get yourself there anyway. That's how you get nominated. In the first place. Not being soft, because they only had like 4 nominees. Nominated in the whole country. So you have to be a different kind of person. So
okay, but nini, because I think the problem that I had na yeye, because I'd predicted history yake kuwa expelled, but problem nilikuwaga nayo na yeye ni those days that the president used to, alikuwa namfinya na mpinch. I remember she came out and said that we need to regulate social media. So I felt like this was a lesson to her of never side in quotes with the oppressor, because what happens is the oppression will come to your side. So because your time alikuwa nasema we need to censor social media, this is during the Gen Z protests. Ni kama hakuwa anajua that eventually
should be censored.
Mambo itamwendea drama.
Not true. I think during the Gen Z period, there was a lot of mixed reactions, even from people like myself. Who was the chairman of KEMSA. On one end, I was openly against some of the clauses in the finance bill. zero rating on some of the agricultural products, making the input cost to be much to go up. There were issues like the circulation tax that had been put there that did not make sense at all.
Yes.
There were issues like taxation for internet users and the content creators, which again did not make any sense at all. And we highlighted and we actually talked about all those things.
Yes.
But at the same time, you see, now for us, we had to be a bit balanced. Because we're investors, we're employers, and we had just come out of COVID, COVID period. And you see, for me, I always feel that having a bad government is better than no government at all. And there's always a process, a constitutional process to get a government out. And even everyone says you can hate a government but love your country. So we have, like, now I hate this government. And I do not lie about it. It's on social media, it's when I'm talking, I don't like it. I've actually, not just now, even when I was in government, if you look at my social media accounts, I've criticized a lot of government policies, from issues of SHA to issues of making mathematics optional in schools to issues of not having IEBC. I've criticized for the last 2 years. I took the government to court when they wanted to go farm in Zambia. And I got an injunction. They wanted to go, they had leased land in Zambia to go farm Kenyan maize. Yet we have so much land. I've never even seen anything crazy. Israel is a desert, but they don't come to lease land in Kenya. They use their land. So there's so many damn things that this government has been doing and it's been criticized. But I think that's what I'm saying, that period, also we were of that opinion, okay, you go with overthrow this government, then what? What next? We won't have a country, then what? Parents have children to take to school. I have kids in school. And I'm not alone. So that's why also there's always the benefit I give to people who are older than me. Because they've seen more, they think more. You see, for a young person, might not have enough responsibilities to make them worry. They're just thinking about their own stomach. But for somebody else who has like 3-4 kids in school, they have a job, they go to, it's an export business, so they have to worry about, okay, if it collapses, then what happens to my children? Where do I get food to feed my family? So I think that's where you might have, I never really, unless other than the people who are openly just crazy, the ones who are saying that the people who are abducted who are in Airbnbs with girlfriends. I think those ones who had gone overboard. But the others, I found anyone else who said, okay, guys, let's think about this a bit more. I never criticize them. Because we still have a country.
I think hiyo kitu imefanya nimekuwa accused of being paid for a very long time. Kuna watu wamesema hata wameniita government blogger, because I've always been the sort of person of wanasema a government is better than no government. I think umesema hivyo mimi ushindaga nikisema civilian rule. I'll choose civilian rule over military rule any day. And I feel like online to me romanticize, especially juu ya Traore. People have romanticized military rule, and they make it seem like you'll just wake up, go on the internet, tweet whatever you want to tweet, and then go about your business. So we kwa nini you felt like afadhali gava kushinda kuharibiki? Apart from investments, what else were you worried about?
It's everything. You see, government has institutions. And I felt we can work through institutions anything that we feel that we've been wronged as a country. We have, if it's about the government, a president, there are mechanisms even to remove a president when mid-term, and it's in parliament. So if the people who we've elected feel as strongly as the citizens that the government of the day has failed, they can be able to move a motion. And that's why we've elected them. And so in case these people don't, then it's okay. Let's be patient. Let's wait for 2027. Time moves. There's nothing that ever stops time. 2027 so we have the list of all of them that voted yes, for that finance bill. We have it. We have a bill of all the others that voted for even these other things that kutoa kama seal kuitoa kwa AG kupeleka kwa president's office, the government seal. Tuko na hizo list zote. Come 2027 tuwatoe waende nyumbani, and then iwe funzo even to the ones that come after, that actually the citizens are intolerant of actions that go against the very reason we put those people in place. Nobody put people in place so that they can be make Kenya a commercial business. That wanaamka naanza kitenda pale kitenda and people are struggling. Right now the biggest issue that Kenyans have is the cost of living. The issues of healthcare, joblessness for the youth. Those are things that trouble Kenyans every day. Sijasikia Mkenya amesema mimi sina nyumba. Sasa mimi ni sort na nyumba. The money that is going into the housing the last 3 years or so, the money that has been collected, let me say that, not that has gone into housing, but what's been collected in 3 years is probably around 300 billion.
If
that 300 billion was used to pay off pending bills, this economy will be booming. Nobody's asking, nataka nyumba, hata hiyo nyumba sikupewa, ni kununua. They're buying. So hiyo pesa wakinunua inaenda wapi?
Because those wenye hawana hata the standards of zenye zinajengwa sahi they can't afford to live there. Napeleka msi hata ajailipa internet bill, ama stima
kulipa,
then you relocate him or her to there. It does not make sense.
Kuzizo nyumba
it's for them.
They were being handed, I think ni za mkuru something. Ziko zinakuwa handed now on this Tuesday 20th, yes? And one of the things that stood out ni unaangalia hizo floors, najua hizi floors zitahitaji lift. The probability of those lifts working full time, like backup power system
maintenance,
alafu pia ukiangalia kuna kuagana hizi zingine za Kibira, I think zinakuwaga wapi high rise
za Kibaki
yes hizo sasa ina depending ukienda huko ni za Raila hizo, but you know we're talking about
zile za Kana
hizo. If you go there you find hazina stima, hazina, like a lot of people could not afford, so they look like slums still. So ni nyumba ya nini, but watu like ukiziangalia ni slum too bad. So now that's the tricky thing of umepeleka watu hapa, but can they actually afford the affordable housing?
But if you empower them, the shortcut could have been that job creation, like kuwa na build plans hapa zenye zina apply watu wenye wataweza ku afford housing, not just build places, because I think at the end of the day the end game inaka, if they cannot afford, then usikie hizi nyumba zote zishaanza kwa privatiziwa. So that's what's going to happen.
You know labor is usually between 20 to 30% of the construction cost. So if they're saying that something is 10 billion, labor is 3 billion. The other 7 billion ni madili zao. Is materials. Ni machuma, masimiti, machoo, imports. So mtu asikadanganyane na hii 3 billion has been spread over how many people? Thousands of them. So then they're still going with the 500 property, which is underemployment in any way. But actually, if we had created certain better environment for business using that money that was there, these people will even be getting more money. And as you've said, I remember I'm the one who handed over those units along the SGR. Not the SGR, the meter gauge in Kibra. Those houses you see when you're on the road. And venye tulipeana hizo manyumba tulienda tukahand over tukapeleka watu, but they were not celebrating because they told us venye tuko hapo hivyo ndio biashara yenye tunafanyanga because hakuna maji kwa mtu analetanga maji because they have their own slum economy. Even us when we were in our slum in Kenyago, we had our slum economy. So if you come and destabilize it, then you need to do it in a way that we know where we are going to get money tomorrow. But ukileta maji sasa na sina mimi nauliza sasa
nitakuwa nikifanya
mimi ndafanya nini sasa sina maji ya kuuza so you have to actually think through that economy and circulation much better so that you actually don't the development is not what you think it is. It has to be the development as the people who live there think it should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So nini and of course we pia ni member of Farmers Party.
Yes, niko kule member of Farmers Party. Na Farmers Party is one of the party imeshikana na hii DCP.
Yes, because before tupongejwa DCP kuna watu watauliza kama Irungu ni part of Farmers Party na the party leader iko jela juu ya corruption. What does that say about we mwenyewe and what you stand for? You understand?
Yeah, you see, Waititu came in as party leader when I was chairman of KICC.
Okay.
Because being a state officer, you also cannot hold a political office. So that's how he came in and took over from me as the party leader of Farmers Party.
Okay, originally you're the party leader?
Yes, I was a party leader.
Okay.
But then you see, by that time, he was not jailed.
Yes.
Yeah. So wezi kusema ni alikuwa tulileta mtu kwa sababu alikuwa jela nini. But subsequent after ameenda pia alituambia anataka kuondoka because the constitution and our party constitution does not allow him to continue holding the position of party leader. So bado si yeye ndio ako party leader. Yeah, so iko tu hivyo vacant.
Na kwa nini ulichagua hiyo jina Farmers Party?
Farmers Party because 67% or 2/3 of the Kenyan population are farmers, either directly or indirectly through linkages. And the farming employs a big number of the youth as well. And as an economy, currently farming agriculture is about 24% of our economy. But actually can be about 42% from what the numbers we've been looking at. But through value addition. We need a bit more value addition. We need to work on the middlemen, to remove some of the middlemen, and to increase the export products, to enhance the yields for farmers. So I'm passionate about it because it's really about empowering communities and empowering people.
Yes.
So that's why even as our party, it's been a party of farmers. In 2022, from 2020, I championed the tea and coffee reforms.
Okay.
As a one-man army. Eventually bringing in the Tea Act.
Okay.
That was passed in Parliament. As a citizen, as a normal citizen. It's there that Uhuru also picked me to be the chair of the National Tea Reforms Task Force. And I delivered the reforms that actually the tea farmers are enjoying today. They will tell you, any tea farmer you mention my name, they know me. Across the entire country, 6 million beneficiaries.
So what sort of benefits are we talking about?
Higher bonuses, higher pay, more fertilizer to improve the yields, more the democratic elections in the tea factories to ensure that the interests of the farmers are the ones that are taken care of.
Yes.
So those are some of the key initiatives that we brought in. We democratized the tea auction in Mombasa to allow for more of the to remove those requirements that they had put in there just for themselves.
Yes.
To ensure that more and more people are able to buy our tea. Kenya is the largest exporter of tea in the world.
Okay. Yes.
Second largest producer after China, but China consumes locally. So Kenya is the largest exporter. Tea brings in about 26% of the FX in this country. Just tea alone.
Okay.
So it's huge and it's major. As I said, about 6 million beneficiaries, direct beneficiaries in tea. So that's why it's an important crop.
Yes. Okay. And nini, of course pia nikicheki kwa CV yako nacheki hiyo PS State Department of Transport, sindio? In the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. But now comes the debate of SGR ukikame up na were you involved in any way?
Yes.
Na inasemekanaga it's like one of the worst investments as a country. What is asema nini?
I wouldn't say it's the worst investment. I wouldn't even say it's a bad investment. I would say that there has been poor implementation of the dream of SGR. I'm the one who started SGR, the construction. Nikakuja nikaileta mpaka Nairobi, and we extended it all the way to Naivasha.
Yes.
But I was before we finished kufika Naivasha, nikapeleko from transport, nikapeleko planning.
Yes.
And statistics of the treasury. Yeah, so the way we intended it was that SGR will be moving about 48% of the cargo, removing it from the roads. And that's how we were going to break even. The last time I checked, we had 16% and less. SGR, nowhere in the world does rail transport make money by moving people. You make money by moving cargo. Yeah.
Yes.
Then people 40, they were not able to come up with the right policy. They forced ICD to be the location. So trucks continue operating. Yeah. And that's why the SGR is not making money. Then as we are doing that, I am seeing people talking about expansion of the Mombasa highway on PPP for $4 billion to do exactly what? to essentially kill SGR if that was to be done. So you're thinking, if it's about saving, getting SGR to work, why not even give discounts so that people know if I use a truck, it will cost me 100 shillings. If I use SGR, it will cost me 90 shillings. Yeah. And everybody, we are all rational beings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will use, but right now, you use SGR is 150 shillings. You use the truck is 100 shillings. So of course everybody will use the trucks. So that was one. Secondly, Naivasha. Big mistake. Not in getting the rail to Naivasha, because it's not even Naivasha, it's a place called Dukamoja. That had nothing. It only had one Duka.
Yes.
That's like the name.
Like the name. Yeah. The issue was that once the train terminates in Naivasha,
yes,
there's nothing else there. We actually intended to have an industrial park. Yeah. We were to acquire about 10,000 acres to put up an industrial park. 40% of costs of goods on the shelves is logistics.
Yes.
Yeah. In developed countries, about 4%. Yeah. And that's why having a rail system that actually brings down that cost. So SGR was supposed to bring down that cost to about 16%, the way we had worked it out. Yeah. Meaning that it makes sense for export. It makes sense for bringing down the cost of goods in the local market.
Yes.
Yeah. And in that way, even having import substitution for things that we were importing. Finally, is the final leg. There are two more legs left. The Naivasha to Kisumu and Kisumu to Malaba.
Yes.
The Kisumu to Malaba was this first leg was about $2 billion. Then the other one was about $1 billion. The Kisumu to Malaba did not make any sense.
Yes.
Yeah. It did not, at least not to me as an economist and thinking around it as a country. It did not make sense to me because we are going to spend money to take goods to Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's our own money. We are the ones borrowing. Yeah. And I keep reminding people, you do not make money when the train is moving. You make money when the train stops. Yeah. And that's why the way we planned it was actually to put up a very big port in Kisumu. Yeah. Which we got even the approval, and funding was being prepared in China for $140 million.
Yes.
And we have another port on the Uganda side in Kampala, probably slightly smaller, but for the same. Such that now, once the SGR gets the goods in Kisumu, those goods now go by sea, by the lake.
Okay.
To Kampala. What that means is the same activities you see in Mombasa
Yes.
at the port becomes the same activities we see in Kisumu. Yeah, the industries that go around the port from the CFSs, to any other, even shipyard, the ships will be repaired. The ships will be all those now become industries in Kisumu. Yeah, there's a place called Xi'an, where the Chinese had actually acquired 1,000 acres. To be able to put up another industrial park for manufacturing and exporting to the hinterland, the African hinterland, now through the port system. That had been done. So SGR needed to be a complete system. By it ending in Naivasha, it was a waste of money. We spent 120 billion shillings to build it from Nairobi to Naivasha. We are paying interest on that money.
Yes.
We could be using it now. We could be doing it once we are ready. There was no point. And actually, I told the president then, I told him, there is no point of the urgency. I do not see the urgency of pushing the SGR if you are not putting up the investment park, the industrial park. So overall, SGR is a good project. Should be a big project. It was probably it was probably inflated in one way or another, but it was still a good project.
So hizi industrial parks ziko zinafaa kuwa wapi? Moja Naivasha, ingine Kisumu. Naivasha and Kisumu. And what were they supposed to have? Because I remember the debate that was happening in politics was wanataka kuchukua watu kutoa nini Mombasa wapeleke Naivasha.
Dry port. There's an issue of a dry port.
Like
not really, because you see industrial parks is about manufacturing.
Yeah.
The one that they had issues with is the ICD in Nairobi, which true was supposed to actually move the cargo. If I'm bringing my cargo to Upper South Sea,
yes,
I don't need to have my destination port as Mombasa.
Yes,
when I'm buying it from China, my destination port will be in Nairobi. So that way, it lands in Mombasa, it's put on the train, it comes to Nairobi.
Yes,
but the ones who are taking things to Garissa, Mariakani, wherever, they can still have Mombasa, then it will be tracked. But the idea was to get the 48% of the cargo moved by SGR, for the SGR to break even and allow us to repay the loan, because the repayment was in 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alafu sasa ya Kisumu ingekuwa na nini?
Everything. From shipyards, fish, the whatever, even the industrial park could be anything, because you see the issue is always about the logistics. But if you can be able to manufacture,
yes,
you have cost of labor is low, cost of our power could be low. You are looking at power coming from the Sondu and also from LTWP, the Lake Turkana.
Yes,
wind, and also from the Ethiopia, from the Great Renaissance, which was coming at around 6 cents.
Yes.
So we knew that there'll be a lot of cheap power. You have labor. The sea transport is the cheapest.
Yes.
For moving cargo. Yeah. Sea, then rail, then road, then air. That's the order of the cost. So if you can now be able to manufacture there, because Kenya is a manufacturing country, and then you transport to the hinterland, to DRC, Rwanda, Uganda, South Sudan.
Yes.
So you'll actually have things at a cheaper price. And if you can produce there, you can also produce and export. If, for example, palm oil.
Yeah.
Palm oil, you get it in Uganda. Yeah. So you can actually do palm oil from Uganda. You can manufacture there and export outside even the country.
Yes.
At a cheaper price, because you have a direct rail link that brings down the cost of the infrastructure. So essentially, it makes sense. Our manufacturing, we've not had focus on manufacturing.
Yeah.
We used to be about 13% of GDP was manufacturing. As of now, we are 7% of GDP. It's just coming down. If you do not have manufacturing, then you also don't have jobs. Yeah, because that's where the jobs are. It's about the raw materials, which are local. They're employing people, then adding value to the raw material. More people again that you employ. So it adds it. So it makes so much sense if actually I want to create jobs for people, for the young people, that you make agriculture and manufacturing to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kwa nini Uhuru haku nini? Because it looks like a very noble idea. Why didn't Uhuru implement it to the fullest?
You know, he connected. He told me I need to focus to work with one of the ministers for the land acquisition. Nikasumbuana na huyo minister kila wakati, ikaanza kukaa nikaa project yangu, akaanza kuniambia iko watu wanaongea nao Masai watauza hiyo shamba. So it started looking like he's trying to cut a deal to acquire the land. Yeah. And and I remember like one of the Uhuru's very close advisors is his brother, MK. And I remember I told him more than 10 times. Every time we meet, I'm telling him, we need the industrial park. Uhuru himself, I told him about 2-3 times. We have to do the industrial park. Yeah. And he tells me, Uganda minister, we agreed. Uganda. Yeah.
Nafanya hivi.
Yeah.
Wewe ni minister mgani? Unajua ni iko ne. Situambie tu ni minister mgani?
Bado kwa hii serikali. So si mtu mbaya, kwa hiyo Mr. sitamtaja directly. But he failed us. He failed us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because kwa naona the bigger picture.
Yes, so seeing the commercial side, personal interest alone. And that's really why the SGR did not miss.
And Nini, there's something I always mention. Musemaga, like, of course, you've lived in a first world country, so najua easy story. Musemaga, the richer the population, the richer everyone becomes. That means if you are rich, saizi, and you are rich, I think it's what's his name? Kagame usemaga, you're a billionaire in a sea of poverty. If you're a billionaire in a sea of poverty, and someone else is a billionaire in a sea of wealth, the one who is a billionaire in a sea of wealth will get richer because people have spending power. Why do you think your aspect haisinkigi kwa Kenyans? That's why, like, for this minister, angeona, sir, if I can't make money from this, let me take advantage of what's going to happen around the industrial park and invest something there so that when this happens, I can benefit from.
Hata achana na huyo minister. Atakuja kwa serikali. Sahi, because that's the same issue we have.
Yes.
The issue is because some people are narcissists. Yeah. So they are okay being the richest people and the only people with money.
Yeah.
They like it. Yeah. So anytime they see somebody else trying to make money, anytime they feel that something will make other people richer,
yes,
they don't like it. They prefer to have people under their stranglehold. Yeah. What we used to call the king of poverty mentality.
Yes.
It is there. That's why you find even sometimes it's your friend akona kabiashara kake ama akona kadil fulani, but he'd rather go look for somebody else than bring it to you. So that ubaki penye uko na yeye apande. Yeah. So it's a terrible mentality. You see, I keep saying there's nobody we did not wake up in the morning, very early in the morning, because we woke up very early in the morning.
Yes.
In the last election. To go vote for somebody to become richer. We voted for them to make us richer.
Yes.
But as soon as those people take those seats, they forget why we put them there. Yeah. They assume we put them there so that they can get rich. Yeah. And I think that has to be a shift. There has to be a shift.
Okay.
The people at the leadership positions have to realize that they are accountable. And they're accountable to the people who put them there. Yeah. And that I wish one time we'll have a very bold opposition that will actually take some people home mid-term.
Yes.
Yeah. So that people realize actually the power is not with us. It was only donated. We were given the power for those 5 years to serve. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And Nini, come to hii story, acha tu rewind kidogo. We go back to you as an investment banker. So how do you end up moving from that to government?
So government, by the time I left NIC, I went back to the UK to part of the DFID, the Department for International Development, heading the infrastructure in Africa, East and Southern Africa, as a regional director. So I did that for about a year and a half. Then Equity Bank is one which pulled me back.
Okay.
And they brought me in as the managing director for investments.
Okay.
And so even the Equity Bank in DRC, I'm the one who actually did the transaction to bring to get Equity Bank to buy the DRC bank, that used to be called ProCredit Bank.
Yes.
And it's there that I got a call and from one of my friends and told me, we were sitting somewhere with the president, and the president said that he's been reading about this young man called NYAKERA in the papers, because I was all over the papers.
Yes, yes.
From the transactions that we were carrying out. And he said that he asked if anybody knows this NYAKERA. And a friend of mine who was there said he knows me. And he was told, go bring the CV. Yeah.
Yes.
That guy chased me for 2 weeks, asking me for the CV, because I refused. I said, I don't want a government job. Eventually, he told me, if you don't give me, I'll go to James Mwangi and I'll ask for your CV from him and he'll give me.
Yeah.
So I gave him the CV. Yeah. And the rest is history.
Okay. Yeah. Now working for Huru, how was that?
It was good. It was good. He was, he understood the assignment. And the assignment is for you to deliver to Kenyans. You have to hire the right people and allow them to work.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. Yeah. Kwa sasa nini tukibonga juu ya you as an economist, there's something that Gachagua said, was it on Friday? And I remember someone else alinitag on Facebook kaniambia, this does not make sense. How would this make sense? So Gachagua alisema like, right now Ruto is a trillionaire. And kuna watu walikuwa like, you make financial sense. Like if you take $1 trillion from the Kenyan economy, lazima itatingika kidogo. So is there any world where Ruto is a trillionaire?
Yeah, easily. You see, you don't have to remove money from the economy.
Yes.
You just have to own a share of the GDP.
Okay.
Yeah. If you come and you take land that is worth so much, that is, Yes. If you come and you take over healthcare as a sector, healthcare is like 20. Our GDP is $130 billion.
Yes.
$130 billion is about 18 trillion.
Yes.
About call it even 18 trillion.
Yeah.
So if you're the one who's taking 10% of that GDP on an annual basis, based on the businesses that you're doing with that economy, how are you not a trillionaire?
The shareholder.
Yes, you're the shareholder.
Of that
yes.
GDP.
If the ndeges are coming, you're a shareholder in that. If banking sector, you're a shareholder in that. In those. If healthcare, Kina Life Med and all these other businesses, you're the shareholder in that. You have hospitals. If ukikuja kwa hizi kwa mining, uko huko kwa mining. Ukienda kila mahali kwa hizi mitambo za SHA, uko huko hivyo. So how are you not a trillionaire? So you might not have taken the 4 billion. 4 trillion from the economy as cash.
Yes.
But you've taken an equal amount in that valuation. So if somebody comes to do valuation on your wealth, yes, they'll find it's the 4 trillion.
Yeah. What? So nini, because of course nani imekuwa, he's been very vocal, Gachagua. Na amekuwa kituambia hizi vitu zote that this happened, banks zimenunuliwa. So bank, tuseme, if you're working for government and you buy a bank, unaidu through proxy ama unaifanyaje? Like how does that work?
But it's not even through proxy anymore, because like the bank that he said to have acquired, he acquired through an entity which everybody knows is his company. Yeah.
So
hata hakuna siri. So hata hakuna siri. So it's called impunity, where you no longer care to hide. So that's how far we've gotten. And I don't even think Gachagua has been have disclosed 10% of what he knows. When I sit with him and he tells me the kind of things that he knows and that are happening, you're like, you don't have a cunt. He can actually be giving talking twice a week for the next 2 years, and he'll not have disclosed 10% of what he knows. Because it's a mess. It's a big mess. And it's unfortunate because we had red flags. Uhuru told us this person will do this person will do this, and we just said, oh, you don't like him because he's the one who's working in government. You're just,
Not from
you're
dynasty.
just drinking. Yeah, yeah. He's not a dynasty. He's like a dynasty. Kumbe we didn't know he wants to be a dynasty. Yeah.
na ajali
Yeah.
kusofa amekuwa hizi vitu zote zinasemekana na nini hii trying to arrest Gachagua nyi mlichukuaje mkisikia?
Yeah, no, you see, the arrests is nobody has an issue with arresting anyone. The issue is what's the intention? Is it to arrest him, to arraign him in court, or to arrest him to kill him?
Yeah.
So if you want to arrest him, to arraign him in court, then there's a normal process.
Yes.
There's a very clear process. Go to court, get an order to arrest him. Come and arrest him. See? You can't just be on a Sunday. You think I was getting a call on Sunday and I'm being told, hey, this is happening because I was just in the area, and so for me I went where they were. Yeah.
Yes.
But I felt that it was very unprocedural. Yeah.
Okay, because nini tukuwa tumeongea juu ya SHA here on the podcast. We'd invited someone who works at a data center na alikuwa natuambia that in his highest approximation running such a data center for SHA plus all the equipment you'd need come to around $100 million, which is 100 million is like 13 billion. 13 billion. And then in the same thing akatuambia like this means that 91 billion is going into individual pockets. Yes. So nani alijipangaje? Ahia ni kitu alijipanga akiwa DP that he understood that ikiingia I'll do all these businesses, ama at what time do you scheme that by the time unaingia everything is in place, health unakulia, construction, housing, because housing saizi sinasemekana yeye ana supply simiti na vitu kama hizo, si ndio? Simiti, steel and
chuma, yeah.
So hili kitu nafikiria ina happen aje?
Ulisimona kunywanga?
Zi
Kunywangi. Sasa nyinyi watu dangerous. Afadhali sisi. Una kunywanga?
No, from time to time.
Afadhali sisi. Mimi na wewe tuko sawa. Hao nyo kunywangi, they have enough time to do all the man of things. Ananga sasa sisi tunachapa kidogo kidogo.
Ile time tumeke hiyo.
Saa hii hata nikiwa hapa saa zingine nafikiria 7-8 jioni tutakuwa najipangaje. So ana hiyo mpango. So yeye ni kufikiria 7-8 ninaanza kuchapa kadil kagani. Yeah. So I think it's about as they say, a leopard does not change its stripes.
Yeah.
If you look at the history from back in the university as minister, the days before White 92, people don't change. The way they are then is how they'll be today. I think we just assume and hope that people can change, but they don't. If you knew me in a certain way back then, trust me, I might not be the same person today, but I'll still be 80% of that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And nini KEMSA, so yeye alikuwa point kama nini? Yeye alikuwa point?
Yes, aliniappoint kama chairman kule KEMSA. But they appointed me as chairman after I took the government to court on that thing of Zambia. Yeah, and I still refuse to withdraw the case. Niwaambia tunapelekana to the end until that's why we got the injunction. Even as I was chairman, bado nilipigana na hiyo case mpaka hiyo withdraw.
Yes.
Kupanda hiyo mind. So they were really just trying to silence me. And that's why I was appointed.
Yeah. So what money was going to be made from this deal? Like you are having maize in Zambia. Like what scheme?
Kuimport mahindi huko, wanapanda mahindi huko, wanaimport huko na no duty.
Okay.
It's cheaper to farm it in Zambia in one way or another. They're using our money. So it was just business. It had nothing to do with Kenyans. Yeah. And that's the annoying part about all these things.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with Kenyans. It's always about patient.
Okay. So after KEMSA, alikuchuja
I was
after
removed
KEMSA?
from KEMSA, nikapelekwa KICC. Sasa huko kwa caretaker.
Hiyo nyumba.
Kwa hiyo nyumba.
Yeah.
So hiyo story karibu.
Okay.
That's why hata tukaanza tukuvurugana nao mpaka akanifuta.
So KCC, like what's your work? Okay, KCC like
really nothing. Just there's a building there, you oversee it once in a while. Militants, militias from Sudan wanakuja wanafanya mikutano zao hapo hivyo. Wanajenga serikali mpya hapo hivyo, mnaiwaitikisha. Yeah, such. So there was nothing to do there. It's just a building. and I don't feel I had no reason to be confined to a building. So I'd rather be at KEMSA. There was value I was going to bring to the country.
Yes.
And I did. Actually, if you talk to anybody from KEMSA, they will tell you the reforms I brought to KEMSA during that period were huge. KICC came and found an organization that had completely was no longer functional, but we did a lot in terms of former HR points.
Yes.
I just told them I found like director of procurement alikuwa ameenda on leave, sick leave in 2009. 16 years. Na wanasema tunangoja retire.
That's a sick leave.
Sick leave. Na hiyo position ilikuwa vacant. So that now they can be putting whoever they want there.
So mtu wa sick leave anapata salary tu bado.
They were getting until a few years ago. 16 years ajai kuingia ofisi na anakuanga tu hapo hivyo ako tu area tu anafanya biashara zake hii Nairobi Kanairo. But anajuanga pale kitu ni yangu. Director of procurement. So and a number of other things that I came and cleaned up because I was like, no, this is nonsense. No, we can't. I'm like, no, we do it this way because you have to do it right.
Okay. And sasa nini why were you moved from your transport to devolution and planning?
No, that mostly I would say my boss felt that I am really growing. Macharia.
Okay.
Was James Macharia, the minister, and he's actually the one who started to fight me. Not directly. Directly, he was my very good friend. But huku nyuma, he was doing everything that he can to get me out because I had mentioned to him that I might be interested in running for governor at some point.
Yes.
And apparently, for what I didn't know is that he also held the same interests.
Okay.
So he felt that now he's feeding a snake.
Yeah.
So he tried whatever he can to see how he can get me out of there.
So alikutafutia unajua sasa Kisapere Macharia ni mtafutaji. Mtafutia makosa.
Okay. But sasa nini ka kuna scandal ushaikuwa mentioned ilikuwa ARROR and KIMWARER. So ARROR and KIMWARER kulihapenaje?
ARROR and KIMWARER, I was not it was one of those things that I had said no to from the beginning.
Yes.
I was a PS, and it was being carried out by KVDA, Kerio Valley Development Authority, and I told them it does not make sense. From the geological,
yes,
the structure of the area, the report said that the place had a fracture. And so it was not conducive for a dam because of that weight. It will not carry that much water.
Yeah.
2, from the financial point, because that's my expertise. I told them the financial model that they were looking at did not make any sense. So I rejected it. And I rejected it from the day one. I got calls from everyone. That's what I was telling you. The problem they have with Starehians is we are not user-friendly.
Yeah.
They even told me the amount of money they will give me. And I still refused. Eventually, the signature that they used to receive the first amount of money was my signature. That was forged. So I have all my affidavits here. So when I came and tukaenda kule DCI and I wrote my affidavit, wakaniambia, can you be a state witness? Nikamwambia, I am happy to. Then after some time wakaniambia, actually, wewe tuenda tutakuhitaji.
And that's how the case was dropped.
No, not for me. They arrested. Remember, the case went, people arrested and all that. No, me, I was never incriminated or arrested or anything.
Zinasema the actual case sio ilikuwa implicated kina Rotich ama?
It was dropped like this year. But it's been on from back then.
How much money was lost by taxpayers? 21 billion. I think hapa ndio kulikuwa na RUTO dismiss. I think 7 billion.
but it's 21 there's money that was paid to the insurances, there's a lot of money that had been paid.
Okay.
But we lost about 21 billion.
Okay. Na tukinini because
there's nothing there to show that venye unaweza kusema ati ulipoteza pesa lakini unaona ulijenga kaflo kamoja ka building. There is nothing. The same way it was before the 21 billion is how it is after the 21 billion.
And this goes into individual pockets. Damn, hiyo ni nicho. Alafu itabidi kutafute tena, but tukimalizia story za DCP majuzi ulitengeza billboard hii billboard ilipasuliwa ilikuwa wapi?
Hapa hivyo karibu Bangi roundabout.
Ilikuwa tu hapa Nairobi.
Hapa Nairobi. Zote ziko Nairobi. The 5 billboards they put up were just to congratulate Rigathi Wao in Nairobi. So hiyo moja ndio ilienda ikaharibiwa.
So governorship dream yako iko wapi? Which city?
Nakwambia huko lakini tunataka we have to to offer a solution to our city.
Yes. Also you're thinking Nairobi?
Yes. Okay. We are looking at a leadership position in Nairobi. We have to offer a solution for Nairobi.
Now ushaifikiria gani unaweza handle hizo cartels because I hear the cartels here are so entrenched that there is nothing to do.
Stories za cartels pia zinakuwa tu stories za kuuza uoga. They're all there. When I was made PS, I went and got rid of all the cartels of the Kenya ports. Fuatilia. Marwa alikuwa anakuja na mimi ananiambia umefika, namwambia yeye, ananiambia aisha unataka kufanya hivi, namwambia yes. Namwambia nipeleke. And we got rid of them. We burnt sugar, tukafunga zile za kina even one of the ministers wenye wako hapa hivi hizo mabiashara zao nilizifunga zote. And nobody stopped me.
Yes.
Wanakuambianga tu kuzioga. You get to whatever position, just know that if you can't do it, nobody else can because only you is in that position. So cartels will want you to be in bed with them. But if that's not your intention, what will they do to you? Wakuwe. Kwani wajaua watu wengine before. So whatever position ukuiwik Nairobi, we will ensure that we deliver.
Because Nairobi mwonaga tu if we start from here tuzabaki tumepeleka to a whole other level, but itabidi tukutafuta jo. Leo ulikuwa na haraka so lazima kuna vitu mob sana hapa tuje explore. But best of luck to hivyo. Alafu I think wewe unafaa kukusumbua ni connect to Tuju jo. Mwambie kuna old boy anataka China because Tuju journey has been very interesting also.
Very interesting. Actually I'll be meeting him later. I'll tell him to talk to you.
Yes. And tafurahia sana.
Ni
file number. Inagoga file number. But tumekuwa na very interesting journey jo from Wall Street to saa hizi. Best of luck. Alafu pia at least na kila kitu yako you can articulate the vision vizuri kabisa, like someone can see like your vision ya SGR, like without the overquoting and what. I think it was a very good project.
That was a very good project.
Yes. So we're going to episode 458.
458.
So episode 458 kama kawaida tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.